Hey everyone, Percival Bricks here, aka Drew Maynard from Lego Masters Season 3, aka the guy from the J Schlatt video who has the giant New York City. That's how I feel like I'm becoming known now, but not necessarily a bad thing. Anyways, have kind of a less formal video here because I just really need to show what has changed in my New York City layout. And you can see I even have the camera in 0.5 for this just so I can really give you an idea of all the big changes that we've had. But it's been some exciting stuff. And mainly what I'm talking about is we have new tables in the city. The city has been extended in several different places. So I'm just going to walk through and show you that today. And we're going to start at the front of the city right here. This table is new. And you'll notice there's also a table here. And this was actually supposed to go in this spot. This is one of those like standing desks. You can actually change the height of this. And I think when we got it on Amazon, it was like 80 bucks, which is like a pretty good deal, I feel like. But it said it could go down to like 24 inches. Anyways, I built it to go in this spot, and it went down to like 28.5 at the lowest or something. Like, I think this might even be as low as it goes. It's not even close to what it advertised. So that was pretty frustrating. So we had to kind of makeshift build our own table here, and it totally does the trick. But it's meant to be the same height as this table where the Statue of Liberty is on. And the reason why is this is going to be our subway. So I have a underground subway back there in Rockefeller Center, but this one here is going to be like our legit New York City subway. So if I get in close, like there's not much now. In fact, it's kind of a wreck. But it's a way bigger subway platform than we've been able to have. We'll have a tunnel with a subway car. It's going to be pretty awesome. I'm even going to have it specifically be, have the name of the subway stop on those black tiles there. Going to get those printed, which will be very cool. But yeah, so I'm just starting progress on this front of the city here. And it's not just going to be a subway. I'm also taking advantage of the fact that it's like a lower table and then I have to build everything up. And I'm going to be doing the 9/11 memorial. So you can see I already am getting to work here on the fountain, one of the fountains where the Twin Towers once stood. So those will be like here and here. And I'm very excited about these. I'm going to use lots of clear bricks around these walls. And at the base of it, I'm going to have lights in it so it'll look like, a fountain that's all lit up. And this black part kind of represents like where everyone's names would be written on those like plaques all around. And obviously I won't be able to get everyone's names on there. That would be very impressive. But yeah, very excited about that project. I hopefully now that I have this table can build this up pretty quick because it shouldn't be too complicated to build the subway and build the 9/11 memorial. It's more now about like having all the pieces to just get that done. But very exciting to have that at the front of the city. That's something I wasn't ever sure that I would have. But yeah, because I bought two of these standing desks thinking they'd be low enough for here and here, I just set it there for now. And I also have another one to build over there. So just have to figure out where I'm going to put those, but they will go somewhere in the city. But I'll literally just walk back through the city. Hopefully the 0.5 isn't annoying. I didn't think about that. But some of the changes, you might have seen it in my shorter videos. I moved the Citicorp building back beyond Times Square, just a little more accurate to where it is in New York, and moved the Washington Square arch over a little bit. So now I can have like an actual little representation of the park behind it, which is very exciting. So that shouldn't be too complicated of a thing to build. I think I should be able to do that pretty quickly. But other than that, what are the other changes? Oh yes, big one. This is a new table. So what I had to do was scoot all of this city back and put in a table right here. And there was a reason for that. I didn't just shove a table in the middle of the city for no reason. Rockefeller Center, right there, and the back of the MetLife building, really this black building, was once like aligned with Rockefeller Center, right? So by adding in this table, I can now do the Helmsley building on the other side of MetLife, which is super exciting. That's one I've been wanting to do for a long time. So now I can finally do the Helmsley building on the other side of MetLife and just have that realism where you have, Grand Central, MetLife, technically Avengers Tower right now, and then the Helmsley building. So I think that'll be very cool. And with moving everything around, it did allow me to have this extra spot for a skyscraper. So drop any comments of what you'd like that to be. And then it also allowed me to scoot Times Square back a ways. I think the red bleachers were like pretty much right up against Daily Bugle. But now we not only have a street through here, but also this whole half base plate I added that has like a subway entrance. It has some merchandise being sold. I'm also pretty proud of these like little cement blocks in the street. I based this kind of layout off of Lego Marvel Superheroes. But yeah, so Times Square is looking a lot better. But yeah, this table definitely adds a lot to the city. And then one of the other changes you again might have seen in my shorts, I moved Hearst Tower clear back here. It was, I believe, behind Times Square for a little bit. This is a little more of an accurate spot. Technically, it should be like up here before Columbus Circle. I think it's like right before Columbus Circle. But just where I have room, it made sense to put it just on the edge of Columbus Circle here. And I like it. I mean, it's a very different building, and it definitely is different than what's in this area. So I feel like it breaks up things very nicely, and it's just a super cool skyscraper. And I scooted things this way, and I now have spots for 2 more skyscrapers. I personally would like to do the Essex House building right here, just so that in winter I can have the Bryant Park. I think it's Bryant Park, maybe it's not, but the ice skating rink there with Essex House in the background. I think that'd be a lot of fun. But for that other skyscraper, I'm thinking maybe I could do another one of the Billionaires Row skyscrapers or another Marvel one. I don't really know. So drop any comments if you have thoughts about that. And then obviously Plaza Hotel will go in this spot here. And we have a lot more room on both sides of Central Park. And there is a reason for that. I added in another table back here. And it looks kind of bad right now because I don't have all the base plates down. So you can see the gap between them. And I also haven't extended the black fabric going all the way around here. But Central Park is much bigger than it was before. I mean, it is really big now because I have 2 extra base plate spots on the other side of the fountain area that weren't there before. And I have these 3 base plates added in here and the road going back. And I am also thinking about adding one of those standing desks ones like right here as well, just so I can do buildings on the other side of the street back here. But yeah, so Central Park is much bigger than I ever had room for it to be, and that is very exciting. I did this little series where I was gonna like build all of Central Park like in a week or whatever and post all of it. And I got, I think, like 4 days in, and I just like, I don't know, I didn't have enough parts, and I knew I was gonna be extending things. So hopefully I'll get to actually work on Central Park now I know how big it's gonna be. I also moved this Daredevil, Matt Murdock, and Nelson and Murdock's law office back here. And I have some minifigs for them that I think look very good of Karen Page, Foggy Nelson, and Matt Murdock. But I do like this a lot better back here. I think it's a lot more prominent. And I feel like these style of buildings, these kind of smaller, like almost brownstone style ones, fit really well at this back part of the city. I do like having them. Definitely kicked a Lego. I do like having these style of buildings like up in the city because obviously there are buildings like that in Manhattan or whatever, but they do kind of just make more sense back here to have all the big skyscrapers up there and then the smaller buildings kind of on the backside of Central Park. So I am pretty happy with how that looks actually, but hopefully I can add a lot more buildings in. If you have any suggestions of things you want me to build, drop in the comments. As far as Marvel buildings, I'm thinking of doing what is it called? Fogwell's gym, I think. It might be wrong on that. But basically the gym from Daredevil that Battling Jack Murdock boxes at. I've been thinking of doing Elias. Is it Elias? Oh man, I'm so bad at the names. Basically Jessica Jones investigative office or whatever. There's a lot I could do. So drop any comments of things you want me to build and put around Central Park. I've even thought about doing some Seinfeld things like Monk's Cafe or the Friends building could be pretty sweet. And then I would like to do the Guggenheim somewhere back here. I could make a more like legit natural history museum to go right there. I want to do the Ghostbusters skyscraper. So yeah, now that there's all of this room around here, it's very exciting to think about all the possibilities. I don't know how quick I'll get to all of those ideas or even get Central Park finished or get around it finished, but it's exciting to have the possibilities to do pretty much anything. Speaking of things I need to do, I have Radio City Music Hall. Very happy with this. I need to still build the second sign, and I'm actually going to have printed elements on these gray parts here at the bottom. So it'll actually say Radio City Music Hall in the same art style and everything. But I do need to build this same type of building on the other side of Rockefeller here. I've needed to for a while. That's where the Lego store is going to go, so that'll be pretty fun to do. But that's definitely something I'm hoping to work on pretty soon now. I also need to add back in the, like, not the ice skating rink, but just the base plates, so I can at least have the statue not submerged right there. And then, of course, Helmsley Building, like I talked about earlier, and I'm very excited for that. If you've watched my shorts, you've probably seen I've added in some of these like smaller little shops around New York, and I do really love that. Here's, of course, the old subway that I was talking about that I'm planning on redoing. I think it looks, okay, but I'm very excited about the new one. And then going into, Manhattan here, Midtown, whatever you want to call it, have the base of MetLife building with Avengers Tower. If you haven't seen that change, very cool. I do have this Roxanne building that I never built like a base for, so I'm just not super sure if I want it here. Like where I didn't have much room before, it made sense for it to be here, but now that I have like several open spots for buildings, I am thinking about relocating Roxanne and doing a more legit base for it. I'm just not totally sure. So drop your thoughts if you have any opinions on Roxanne or opinions on what should just go in this spot, because I just don't know for sure. And then as far as like videos for this week, I don't know when I'll get this uploaded, but I'm hoping to turn off all the lights in the room and light up the Empire State Building red, white, and blue for Memorial Day and post a video on that. Probably do something with the Statue of Liberty. I really wish I had the 9/11 memorial done already so I could do that in the video. But expect something like that very soon. I need to get that done, so hopefully I film that pretty soon. And then I think I might have already talked about it, but I am planning on adding more billboards to Times Square. And I have been partnering with Friendly Neighborhood Crafts. If you know their products, go check them out. But they do these like Marvel billboards. These are stickers that you can get, and they're like in the Lego art style. They're Marvel oriented. They fit in well with your city. That's actually how I have like Nelson Murdoch on here. So I had gotten them before they'd even reached out to me about anything. I'd already liked their products and had been using them. But I have a whole bunch of their stickers that I'm hoping to implement in the city. And I know probably a lot of them are going to go in Times Square, but I am definitely going to use them just in general a lot. So I'm very excited about that. But yeah, definitely I think Times Square needs an update. But I do love this area still. I posted a video on it. A lot of people were like, oh, Times Square is like a lot of buildings, right? And I'm like, yes, I know. But like, I just don't have the space. I mean, technically I could, but like, why would I need a Times Square that's like 3 blocks long? I mean, I feel like this just gets the point across that it's Times Square. But updating the billboards definitely would help a lot, I think, to kind of please more people, I guess. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about with the city. Just show you that I have lots more tables and that I'm working on the front of the city. Again, this is something I hope I can finish pretty soon and show you guys, and I'll do a more legit video. But I just really needed to get a city update out now that I have all of these new tables. I had added that one that's like in front of Rockefeller Center to do the Helmsley Building. I added it like almost 2 weeks ago now, and I was like needing to do a video on that. But then we, bought this table and then ended up building this table and starting on this like a few days ago. We added the table at the end of Central Park quite a few days ago. So I literally was just like, I just need to pull out my phone right now and just do a quick video showing you everything. So hopefully this is entertaining, makes you excited, because I have just lots more room to build New York City buildings and different projects. So drop any comments of things you'd like me to build below that you don't see here, because I assure you I have a lot more room now. Very open to suggestions. I was not as open before because I just was running out of space, to be honest. But this is so exciting to have all this room. So thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more content. Again, I'll do like a more legit city walkthrough and everything, especially when this gets done. But right now, this is taking up a lot of my time and really where I'm putting most of my focus. So I'll definitely do more legit videos. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thanks so much for supporting my content. I just get the best comments. I get a lot of mean ones too, but I do really love all the supportive comments I get. It really amps me up to keep going and keep building things. And I do love adding in your suggestions. There's lots of great suggestions on my videos. But yeah, any questions you have, any suggestions for the city, drop them below. And just thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.